Attorney General, really, really a huge congratulations. We've been pounding the table. What a great job Texas has been doing. If the feds would just let you do your job now, they're going to be forced to let you do your job via the Supreme Court. Let me ask you this. First question. Are you going to start arresting illegals today?
That is not up to me. That is up to the governor and law enforcement. So he makes the call on that. My job is to go into court and defend what laws were passed. And I'm certainly happy to do that and grateful that we got a win and the opportunity to stop illegal immigration in our state and the negative consequences associated with that, which are many, as you know.
AG, tell us what your response was when the initial finding was that you couldn't do your job, secure your own border, and arrest people coming across. Head must have been spinning at least. And how do you feel now, 24 hours later?
Well, look, I knew it was wrong because there's no way that Texas or any other state joins the union if the federal government promises to defend you and then decides they're not going to, and then tells you, oh, by the way, we've decided not to defend you and you can't defend yourself. It's against the law. There's no way that any state joins the union. So I know that it cannot be right that our founders set us up for that type of failure. We have to be able to defend ourselves. That the federal government's not only not going to defend us, but they're actually going to aid and abet the cartels and other people coming into this country, whether they're terrorists or not terrorists. You can't expect us to not defend ourselves when the federal government's helping the other side.
Agreed. And, this could be the blueprint. You think it should be and could be the blueprint for other states. I live here in Florida, and Governor Ron DeSantis has been doing a great job doing what he can. But is this the blueprint for, even the Haitians coming across the border, arresting on the state level? And by the way, what do you do with them once you arrest them?
So they're held in jail, and then a judge, it's their responsibility to send them back to the country that they came from. So in other words, if they came across the border from Mexico, we send them back to Mexico. Wherever they came from, they go back to. So it's up to our judiciary, our state judges, to actually send them back.
Now, is there a risk that the individual judges might not?
Look, it's the way the law was set up. So we arrest them, judges have to send them back. So I would hope that our judges in Texas are smart enough because they're elected. And if they start keeping people here illegally, they will be accountable to the voters. We're not the federal judiciary here where you get to stay forever. These judges will be unelected if they do not enforce Texas law.
Again, Attorney General Ken Paxton of Texas just beat the United States government in court. The Supreme Court concurred with Ken Paxton and the state of Texas. My question, Attorney General of Texas, if Trump wins, he's going to need his own Attorney General of the United States. A lot of people right now are speaking your name as a potential candidate for Attorney General of the United States. Something you'd be interested in doing?
Look, I've never talked to Trump about this. I'm open to helping him in any way I can. We'll have to see when we get there. Of course, he's got a lot to go through, and we need him as our next president. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that he wins Texas and any other state that we can help with. And in the end, it's his call on what he needs as his next United States Attorney General. But certainly, we know we're going to do better than Merrick Garland, who's selling us out.
Attorney General, before we let you go, I know you're a busy man, and a lot of people want to talk to you today on this huge win at the Supreme Court level today. But what was your argument? What was your platform? When you presented to the Supreme Court, what did you say that got this win?
Well, so I had my Solicitor General argued the case, and our argument's pretty simple. We have a right as a sovereign state to protect ourselves from harm. And if the federal government is not going to enforce its own laws, they can't thus then prevent us from protecting our citizens from all the detriments of illegal immigration, which include all kinds of crimes and potential risks to our state.
Final thought. There was some at one point. You guys, the state of Texas and Governor Abbott had put up some razor wire, and it actually was working. It was keeping the illegals from going into Texas in a very vulnerable spot. The feds seem to want to pull that down. Where does that stand, sir?
So we're still in litigation over that. There's no injunction protecting us right now. But since that case, since we lost the injunction from the Supreme Court, there has been no razor wire cut down or any fences cut down by Border Patrol or any other federal agency. And we have continued to put more up.